So these are advantages of franchising in retail and as well as disadvantages of franchising in retail. Now these are some of the renowned, world famous franchises in retail like Subway, McDonald's, KFC, 7-Eleven, Burger King, Snap and Tools, Pizza Hut. All this information is available. You open the website. Service Master Clean, Choice Hotels. So in India also you find Lotus Herbals, Habib Stores, VLCC, Ayush, Zodiac, Cottons by Century, Genie and Joni, United Colors of Benetton, Career Launcher, Ferns and Petals, Nerulas, Domino's Pizza, isn't it? Now we discuss about relationship marketing in retailing. So relationship marketing and customer relationship management are not but the different. Generally confusion will arise here. The relationship marketing and customer relationship management are different, but their main focus would be to retain the customers, to improve the customers base. How to retain the customer and how to improve the customer's base when they provide the wanted kind of service to the customers. All the facilities whatever they provides through the sales of the product or the service, if that really is going to satisfy to the customers, then what happens automatically, those customers are going to be loyal and they are going to provide positive feedback to the other customers also. That means customers base improvement would be there. The ideas of the organization to perform certain activities in order to build relationship is known as the relationship marketing. So generally under relationship marketing, the companies will be strategizing how to understand relationship, how to have the strong relationship with the customers. What to call the relationship marketing. Whereas the customer relationship refers to the practical efforts made by the organization to build a relationship. So practically whatever activities will be taking place in order to reach to the mind of the customer, in order to reach to the heart of the customer, is known as the customer relationship management. Strictly speaking, relationship marketing is part and parcel of the CRM, customer relationship management. Both relationship management, relationship marketing and customer relationship marketing tries to maintain long-term relationship with the customers. Comparatively, the CRM is much wider concept than the relationship marketing, both broader scope and is more efficient and effective. Customer life cycle in retail management. The customer life cycle is a term that describes the different steps a customer goes through when they are considering buying, using and remaining loyal to a particular product or service. So like a product life cycle, customer is also going to have the life cycle. So here, right from the selection of the product, the way is going to use that product, and finally the impression, the overall opinion about the product or service whatever used by the customer, what is going to carry forward to the other customers, which is considered as various stages under customer life cycle. The customer basically the customer relationship marketing revolves around the management of customer life cycle. Following are the stages in the customer life cycle. Like what are those? The customer need assessment and acquisition. And the next one is the customer development through the personalization, customization. Customer equity leverage through cross-selling and upselling. Customer retention and referrals for new customers, that is customer migration. So these are the various stages under what called the customer life cycle is concerned. The first one is the customer need assessment and acquisition. According to the needs of the customers, the service provider or the product manufacturer should assess the kind of product that the services should be provided to the customers, and based upon that, what will be there, the retaining of the customers is going to be taking place. Customer development through the personalization and customization. So generally, under personalization and customization, whenever the customer visits any service unit or when he purchases any product, okay, they are going to have the rapport with the customer personally. They are going to have the information, and they are going to provide other further services if at all required by the customer, like after sale services. If at all any changes required in the product or the services, accordingly possibility is there, that also can be considered. So what we call that the personalization as well as the customization. Customer equity leverage through the cross-selling and upselling. So what do you mean upselling here? The practice of encouraging customer to purchase a comparable high-end product than one in the question. So whenever the customer visits for the want of any product, motivating them comparatively to purchase the higher product, whatever actually he is thinking for, is known as the upselling. And the cross-selling, what happens, beside the product whatever the customer is zeroing, other related product sales are also going to be done. So what you call that? The customer equity leverage through the cross-selling and as well as the upselling. And the final one is the customer retention and the referrals for new customers, that is customer migration. So when the customer is going to be retained, when the customer is going to be satisfied with the product and as well as the services provided by the providers, and they are going to refer that information to the other customers, or else what will be there, simply they are going to be migrated to the what we called the same comparative kind of product or the services. So what we call this, the customer retention and referrals for new customers, that is customer migration. Now we discuss about elements and strategies as far as value creation is considered. What is value creation here? Giving something valuable to receive something else that's more valuable to you. That is both costs and benefits. The best example is the farmers use land, equipment, water, labor, sunlight and seeds to grow the onions or else the paddies. So with the meager available resources, by mixing up of all these resources, a product or else a service will be created. So generally when these resources are individually, they may not be having the value. But when you club each other with other resources in a wanted kind of what you call combination, proportionate way, a new product or service will be created. So what are the things? Land, equipment, water, labor, sunlight and seeds. They may not be that much effective individually if you consider, but when they combine together, they lead to the growth of the onions, growth of the crops. The crop is going to be more valuable product, agri product, isn't it? So what do you call this? Value creation. So by using iron ore, by using plastic, by using rubber, isn't it? With a what you called great effort, mixed with a what you called proportionate way, combined together by subjecting to various manufacturing operations, finally we are going to have a four-wheeler, a car, a two-wheeler, a bike. What you call these are all operations, value creation. So retailers create value and build shopper anticipation by consistently delivering engaging experiences that also fulfill shopping needs. In stores, eye-catching displays that engage shoppers and make it simple to grow shopper loyalty. How the retailers are going to create value? You visit any big shopping malls, retailer stores, you will find, hi-fi, lighting arrangements. Through that focus lights, you will be attracted, isn't it, to purchase that products. Mannequins would be there. Generally, when you mannequins means model dolls, isn't it? So when you visit any cloth sellers, you will be finding the cloths or else clothes with mannequins, and you will be attracting to purchase those things. So what do you call that? So they are creating the value about their products, services through this kind of presentation. So these are the elements. The first one is a value proposition, value creation. What is a value proposition? The products and its other elements denoting benefits, value is known as a value proposition. Complete group of benefits promised to deliver to the customer by a company. So when you purchase a cell phone, besides that basic features like incoming and outgoing call receiving, let us suppose that they give other kind of promises like which will be having good audio output, which works as a what you called motion camera, and as well as what you called it can be used any kind of conditions, waterproof, okay, with a strong body. So all these promises, if fulfilled the way they actually promise to the customers, you call that one as the value proposition. The next one is value creation. So value creation is giving something valuable to receive something else that's more valuable to you, both costs and benefits. So when you are going to own any product, you are giving in terms of money, you are paying in terms of what you call monetary terms, the worth, the value of the product. Understand how much you are providing, how much you are collecting, what you call that, the money, and the benefits what you are going to get from this. So what you call this the value creation. So already we discussed what is the best example, like farmers uses land, equipment, water, sunlight, seeds to grow the onions. So what are the strategies? The added value strategy and as well as the performance value strategy. So these are the two strategies actually through which value creation kind of operations can be performed. The next topic is retailer supplier partnership. So in short, what we call that RSP. So suppliers and retailers work collectively so that the knowledge of both parties can be combined to increase the levels of customer satisfaction. The manufacturer would be there. Bajaj company fans would be there. That fellow, it's not possible to directly sell to the customers. So what happens? He is going to provide all the products to the retailers. So what is the chain? Manufacturer. Okay, next wholesalers, next retailers. So in every information, whatever manufacturer is having that kind of product, it tries to share with the retailers also. So because of which, what will the customers are going to have the information to the level of satisfaction. So RSP is continuum two-dimensional, that is information sharing and consigning. So RSP means retailer supplier partnership. It's an unending process. So it actually works in two ways. One is information sharing to the customers and getting information from the customers, getting feedback from the customers. So what you call it? Consigning. Quick response strategy. So this is one of the strategy generally in RSP will be applied. So point of sale information provided to the suppliers. So retailers are going to have the feedback from the customers about the product or the services, and this information will be provided to the suppliers. Not only that, this information allows the suppliers for forecasting sales in the upcoming season also. The next one is the continuous replenishment strategy. What will be replenishment? Replacing with the products. So for that also the RSP means retailer supplier partnership is very very important. And finally the vendor managed inventory. So these are the strategies for RSP. So today what we have discussed, we discussed about RSP. So these are elements. What are the elements under value creation, value proposition and value creation? So customer life cycle, relationship marketing and retailing, and about franchising, franchisor, franchisee. Understand? I stop here. Thank you so much.